In part 7, the whole day was spent getting to and from the famous Milford Sound and taking a cruise on the calm waters and seeing the sights along the way. We woke up to a cold morning with a ray of sunshine streaming through the mountain pass. I saw this solo semi-submersible known as a sea breacher sailing around in Lake Wakatipu. These vessels can actually cost upwards of $80,000 US. I watched him for a few minutes, and he seemed to be having the time of his life. We got picked up by a driver for the day. We drove south, then west, then north towards Milford Sound. We passed by this historic dam, which on Google Earth is named Historic Dam. We stopped in the town of Tiana for lunch, and then after about an hour of driving, the driver stopped at Eglinton Valley to let us stretch our legs and to admire the surrounding scenery. It's hard to tell, but that is actually a small stream running down the steep side of that mountain. We next stopped to walk the short trail alongside the Mirror Lakes. There was nothing really spectacular to see here other than some small pools giving an almost mirror-like reflections of the surrounding mountains, but it was nice and peaceful to walk along. I saw this duck frantically swimming and then diving. I waited for a while, but I didn't see it resurface. We continued our journey driving in the valleys, nestled among tall, snow-capped mountains. We passed by Christie Falls, right next to the road. Along the way, we start to see more and more snow-topped mountains. Here, we are waiting to enter Homer Tunnel, which is controlled by traffic lights during busy periods. The tunnel is 3/4 of a mile long and was opened in 1953. Accidents and incidents have necessitated periodic upgrades and enhancement to the tunnel. We finally arrived at the marina for Milford Sound. This is one of the other tour companies, and this boat on the right was our ride for the day. This is Captain John, and he is going to pilot our boat today. As the boat got underway, we quickly ate our pre-packaged lunch and got ready to see the sights of Milford Sound. These mountains only have a thin layer of dirt on top for vegetation to grow, and sometimes, due to excessive rains and weight of the trees and shrubs, a section of dirt and trees will slide down into the sound, leaving a barren mountainside behind. These lucky and rich tourists are seeing the sound from the air. I can only imagine how wonderful it looks from high up. There you can see a section of vegetation that has slid down into the depth of the sound. Here are some of our fellow passengers. There is another landslide area in front of us. As I explained in one of my previous videos, there is a difference between a sound and a fjord. A sound is a river-carved flooded valley, and a fjord is a glacially carved flooded valley. This waterway is actually a fjord, but the geology was not known to early visitors and they misnamed it, and now it is too late to change the name. Both sides of the sound have dozens of waterfalls. Some are large and permanent, and some are minor which only last a few days after a rainfall. Milford Sound is about 9 miles long and empties into the Tasman Sea, and is surrounded by mountains that rise almost 4,000 feet high. Milford Sound has a maximum depth of about 1,000 feet, which is about 300 meters. Here we are approaching the end of the sound and into the Tasman Sea. We sailed on the southwest side of the sound. We are now turning around to make our way back, and we'll sail on the northeast side to get a closer look at some of the falls located on that side. This is a competing cruise line.
We should be able to get you into the spray and mist at the base of it, which is definitely a good thing for you folks.
Here is another tree slide area showing the scarred face of the mountainside and another sightseeing aircraft. This is the Milford Sound Underwater Observatory, which provides an underwater observation experience for a paid fee, of course. Here's a closer look at the aftermath of a tree slide area, leaving dead trees and shrubs behind. As stated before, the thinness of the dirt, the weight of the vegetation, and the wetness of the soil are all factors that cause these tree slides to occur. Check out that rainbow effect in the mist. Here we are, approaching the dock at the end of our cruise. On our return trip, while we were waiting to enter the Homer Tunnel, we finally saw this solitary kea bird. The kea is a native of New Zealand and is the only true alpine parrot in the world. They live only on the South Island, most commonly in or near alpine areas. Kea are very intelligent and curious birds. A recent study about kea intelligence showed how these clever little birds can work in teams to achieve their goals.